Howdy folks, I'm Brian and here's some Reddit. Alright, our first story is titled, Am I a jerk for calling out my dad for not getting my mom a Christmas present in front of the entire family? I'm a 16-year-old female and I live with my mom, dad, and sisters, 16 and 13. Every year at Christmas, my mom's birthday, and Mother's Day, my sisters and grandparents on both sides and I each get my mom a present. My dad does not. My mom always gets my dad a nice present though. This year alone, he got a TV for his birthday, a smoker because he loves barbecue for Father's Day, and a PS5 for Christmas. She, on the other hand, got a flower from our front yard for Mother's Day, and that was it. This year, my dad's parents, brother, sister, and their kids stayed with us for Christmas. When we were opening our presents, I looked over at my mom and I could tell that she was disappointed that my dad didn't get her anything again, so I asked my dad what he got her. He got very red and didn't say anything. His dad asked him if he ever gets my mom anything and he answered no. His dad, brother, and sisters called him a jerk and asked me, my sisters, and my cousins to go into the game room. He stopped me later to tell me it was rude to call him out for not getting my mom anything and hasn't spoken to me since. Am I the jerk for calling him out? Edit. I forgot to mention that he gets himself very nice gifts for Christmas and his birthday. He bought himself an $800 computer and a new car this year. Update, after dinner, he left with his dad and came back with a diamond bracelet for my mom. Edit, they didn't buy the bracelet on Christmas, they bought it on the 26th. Sorry for not making that clear. I also don't know how my mom feels about the bracelet. I just saw my dad and grandpa leave, and then my dad came back and gave her the bracelet. So no, I don't know that you are the jerk here. Excluding your wife from Christmas for years while simultaneously getting yourself nice gifts, I think that's kind of rude. I think that the spirit of Christmas is not to get stuff for yourself, but to give things to other people. The spirit of giving, kindness, generosity, gathering with people. Those are all really nice things. When you are always putting yourself first, that doesn't really embrace the spirit of something like Christmas. It just becomes an excuse for you to buy yourself something nice. The reason why gift giving is such a tricky subject is because people get other people gifts because it's symbolic. If you give someone something, then it's saying something about you and how you understand another person. And so there's a lot of intimacy involved with gift giving. It shows that you understand a person. It shows that you know them well enough to get them a gift. And it also shows that you are thinking about them. When your father doesn't get your mother any gifts, it shows an utter lack of thinking about her in this respect. Now, it would be different if there was an actual agreement that you all had, or that he had and she had, that there were no gifts between them. That he wouldn't get her anything and she wouldn't get him anything. And if that was the agreement that they came up with, then that's fine. So as long as he's not getting himself gifts too, because that kind of defeats the purpose. But that doesn't sound like what is happening here. It sounds like he's just getting himself stuff and not getting her anything. And so I think in that respect that he probably is acting like a jerk here. What do you think, dear viewer? Do you think he's a jerk for buying himself gifts and not his wife? Not the jerk. If he doesn't want the embarrassment of being called out on his jerk behavior, he should simply stop being a jerk. I really hate this, especially since the dad's reaction indicates that he didn't forget, nor is he unaware that his behavior is jerkish. It's not even that he doesn't care about gifts. He knows it's bad, but he continued to do so because he thought no one but his wife would mind anyways. I'm so glad that OP called him out, and even more glad that they did it in front of other adults who would give the dad a piece of their mind. Alright, our next letter is titled, Am I a jerk for being mad that my friend lied about what was in his egg roll? I don't eat meat and I haven't for 5 or 6 years. It's not religious, but it's still something I feel extremely strongly about. I don't make exceptions for it, ever. regardless of how drunk or hungry I am, etc. At the same time, I do not judge anyone who chooses to eat meat around me, nor do I dictate what types of restaurants/bar my friends go to when we are out together. Vegetarian options are super widely available, so it's always a non-issue. That being said, I respect other people's choices for what they want to eat, and I expect the same in return. I was out drinking with my close friend, and one of them, we'll call him Ryan, offered me his leftover egg roll. I asked him if there was any meat in it, and he said no. I took a bite of it and again clarified with him, asking if he was sure. Ryan is aware that I don't eat meat. Again, he told me no. Immediately after I finished eating the egg roll, Ryan got this sick smirk on his face and tells me that the egg roll had pork in it. Like he thought it was funny. I asked him why he would lie about something like that, knowing that I'm a vegetarian, and he told me to chill out. We proceeded to get into a huge argument where he refused to apologize and kept saying it wasn't a big deal. He was laughing about it and said I was overreacting about the whole thing. I told Ryan and our mutual friends that I don't want to be his friend anymore, and I haven't spoken to him in over a month. Our mutual friends think that I'm overreacting and that I should just move on, but Ryan still hasn't even really apologized and instead keeps downplaying what he did. I have never made my dietary choices anyone else's business. I'm not annoying about it. I don't judge my friends for what they choose to eat. At the bare minimum, I would appreciate it if they didn't trick me into eating pork knowing that I'm a vegetarian. I could easily move on from it if it was a simple mistake. Mistakes happen. It's just the fact that he did it seemingly so maliciously, and it really makes me have no interest in mending the friendship. I think that what I'm so upset by is the blatant disrespect for what my clear boundaries are. Do you guys think I'm a jerk for staying mad about this? So no, I don't think that you're a jerk in the slightest. I think that your choice to eat what you want is your choice, and it's not impacting anyone. And so really, this is just a personal decision that you've made for yourself. Your former friend tricked you. He violated your trust. He violated your boundaries. So someone who violates your trust, how can you trust them again? Like, he did this maliciously, he did it intentionally, and he did it with the point to make you violate your ethics. And the thing is, like, if he did it now and suffers no repercussion whatsoever, then he's going to do it again in the future. Like, he hasn't made any kind of remorse for this and said, look, I'm really sorry, I was drunk and I made some poor decisions and I realized what I did really hurt you, and please forgive me. But instead, he didn't formulate an apology, he just doubled down and said, nope, I didn't do anything wrong, this is you overreacting. So, no, I don't think you're a jerk here. I think that, again, this was a violation of your trust and a violation of your boundaries, and it was disrespectful. I'm a huge meat eater, but this has nothing to do with carnivore versus vegetarian or eating preference in general. He ignored your bodily autonomy. He's the jerk. If he doesn't apologize, sincerely, I would cut him out of my life. Not the jerk. Not the jerk. He needs to apologize. He thinks he's big for making a vegetarian eat meat. He's actually rude and doesn't show any respect or support for his friends. That said, you might need to let this friendship go and fizzle out, as he doesn't seem keen on recognizing the problems in his behavior. Yeah. All right. Our final letter is titled, Am I a Jerk? My husband asked me to stop cooking dinner to change a diaper while he sat on the couch. Tonight, I was cooking dinner for myself, my husband, and our daughter, and my dad who lives with us. I popped in the earbuds to listen to a podcast while I cooked. About halfway through cooking, my husband got my attention from the couch and asks me how much longer until dinner is ready. I tell him 30 minutes. He says more, but I can't hear him, so I tell him to hang on while I wash the raw shrimp off my hands so I could take my earbuds out to hear him. Once I do, he asks how long till dinner is ready. I tell him 30 minutes again. Then he asks me if I'm in the middle of anything, because our daughter has to poop and it's my turn to change her diaper. My response, what? I'm in the middle of cooking dinner. It'll be another 30 minutes. He says he meant if I was in the middle of any steps. He was sitting on the couch listening to an audiobook with his earbuds in. I'm confused. He says never mind and heads upstairs with our daughter. He comes into the kitchen later to get a drink, And I said, "Did you really want me to stop in the middle of cooking dinner to change a poopy diaper so you could sit on the couch and listen to an audiobook?" He says he meant to ask if I was in the middle of anything or just waiting while things cooked. Then he said, "I did it anyways. I'm not mad. It was your turn." Me, "You asked me to stop cooking for everyone to do something for someone else so you could do nothing on the couch." He got frustrated with me and reiterated that it was my turn and he did it anyways. My husband is great, but I'm flabbergasted that he couldn't see why this was a jerk move. Am I the jerk here? So no, I don't think that you're the jerk here. So I'm going to try to give your husband a little bit of benefit of the doubt here and say that he was just misguided in understanding some etiquette here. It's never a good idea to ask someone who is in the middle of doing something to change a diaper. You were cooking, you were in the middle of a chore, you were in the middle of working on something, and cooking requires a lot of concentration, cooking requires a careful eye, and you can't just, run upstairs and change a diaper in the middle of cooking something because that's how things get ruined. Again, I don't think what you did is wrong here. I think your husband was being insensitive. I think that he hopefully in the future will realize that if you're in the middle of doing something, that no, you don't have time to change the diaper. It's good to have take turns and to schedule things and whatnot, but there needs to be some kind of level of understanding that changing a diaper, an unexpected chore that pops up is not something that you can just schedule around and say, oh, well, every other one will take. So again, I think he should have shown a little more respect for your time here and a little more understanding for what you were in the middle of, especially since it was going to be a dinner that he was going to partake in. It seems like a little courtesy of just, realizing that you were in the middle of it, then taking care of it on his own would have been nice here. So no, I don't think you're a jerk. Not the jerk. Diaper changes can't be done on a scorekeeping basis. What if it's your turn and not home or taking a shower or asleep? Not the jerk. The available parental figure should be the one to change the diaper, especially if the other is doing something, like cooking, for the whole house. Alright folks, that's all the time we have for today. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, consider giving me a thumbs up. If you didn't, consider giving me a thumbs down. But also consider explaining why. I enjoy reading people's comments, so thanks so much for all the comments. Thanks so much for the likes. Thanks for the views. Thanks for everything. I'm really happy to see that so many people are enjoying the videos and keep coming back for them. So again, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you all tomorrow.